But when the prototype Vulcan, the Avro 698 tailless Delta, first flew in 1952, 11 years after the Lancaster, but seemingly almost in a different century, it created quite a stir, because this, I can assure you, is as maneuverable as a fighter aircraft. It was rolled by its test pilots even at the Farnborough Air Show, and eventually 136 were built, including all the prototypes, all under the design of the great Stuart Davis, having taken over from Roy Chadwick's initiative and imagination. With its contemporary bombers, the Valiant and the Victor, it had been designed to carry the British nuclear deterrent during the Cold War. And when submarine-launched nuclear missiles came along in the mid-60s, Vulcans lost some of their awesome responsibility of providing the QRA. So, holding her close to the ground in a very graceful series of turns there. Worthy of noting, Martin Withers, DFC, the Chief Pilot and Operations Manager. Now bringing on that famous howl. Martin joined the RAF in 1968, trained at various stations. His first tour on the Vulcan as a co-pilot at Waddington on 44 Squadron. Became a QFI on the Jet Provost and went through Linton-on-Ouse. But eventually the call of moving back to the Vulcan fleet took place, and he was later selected as captain of one of the crews to take part in the famous Operation Corporate, now known as the Falkland Islands conflicts, which we celebrated greatly last year, the 30th anniversary. And yes, here he is now in this similar profile to those famous bombing runs. Topside view, marvellous wing wave. Give them a wave, boys and girls, the most marvellous, mighty Vulcan. Yes, it was he who, after being on standby for the famous Black Buck raids, was called up to replace the then leader, taking the aircraft on an enormous trip, 18,000 miles. Eventually putting a bomb through the centerline of the runway at Port Stanley, denying the airfield use by the Argentinians. Well, that is just terrific. It's not all over till it's over. The crew there having taken up a new part in the display. That's a wonderful climbing turn. Impressive silhouette against this deep blue Somerset sky we have here today. Bill Prarens mentioned the skipper today. He joined the RAF in 1975, had 3 years on Vulcan, including 4 Black Buck raids, although he never actually made it to the Falklands himself. Spent some time instructing on JPs at Linton and on the Tornado F3 at Coningsby. Got himself a Booker Youngman and joined Virgin Atlantic. He's now on the 747-400 as a training captain. Also flies the, when he can, when it's working, the Rolls-Royce Mark 19, and flying with Ultimate High aircraft at Kemble. So there she goes, another mighty howl there, tremendous stuff. Celebrating its 53rd birthday just a couple of months ago, and still in fine order. Well, thank you so much. Yes, undoubtedly still the most popular aircraft on the